Come one, come all. Diabetics, you're included. We're making a delicious dish that's healthy too. Welcome to Help at Home, your resource for great recipes and easy learning. I'm Jim Hightower. Today we're making poached salmon and a white wine sauce with a side of broccoli florets. You can't get any healthier than that, and it tastes great too. So grab your pen and paper. Here come the ingredients. You'll need 2 to 4 salmon fillets or salmon steaks. Keep them on ice because that's the best way to keep them fresh. You'll need some pepper, some chopped scallions or shallots, salt, some clam juice, and as Julia Child would say, a little dry white French vermouth. So you can't beat that. But ingredients are 2/3 cup dry white vermouth, 1/4 cup bottled clam juice, and then enough water to make 1½ cups. Preheat your oven to 500 degrees. Yes, I said 500 degrees. That doesn't sound right for fish, but stick with me. Alright, we have our dish here, and it's been heavily buttered. This was frozen salmon in a bag at United. And I thawed it overnight in the refrigerator. Now, I want you to see, drip drop, the back of the salmon does have a gray skin. The top, as you know, is pink. If you're making for a family, as I said, 2 to 4, you could even cut them into steaks and easily get 4. Now, some people take the skin off before they poach. I think for you, especially if you're starting out, it's much easier to poach it first, then it'll peel off just like a little piece of tape. I forgot to put a little onion under there, so guess what? I'm not going to retape, I'm just going to toss that in there. There you go. Then, we need to put a little salt on top, a little pepper. Then, you can put a few more onions on top. And then, Julia says, kind of dot with butter. My butter's been sitting out here, so it's not easy to get just little dots, but there we go. Just roughly a tablespoon or 2. And if you get more, who cares? 'Cause butter makes everything better. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room. No, I'm not starting to booze it up. Vermouth. This is a typical French fish recipe. Poached in a liquid, usually white wine. And if you don't have a good white wine or you don't know how to pick one, which even I don't, then Julia says that she uses vermouth all the time. A good dry French vermouth. Now, I want you to see the label. It looks like Noilly Prat, but it's not. It's Noy Pra. Now, I don't speak French, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. A vermouth is, to my knowledge, it's a bunch of different little wines mixed together, and it's kind of stout. It smells good, slightly fruity, but it's not the kind of thing that you want to drink. It's stout. But that said, it has a good flavor. So after you cook, the alcohol is cooked out of the wine and you're left with that great flavor. And that's what separates French fish recipes from American ones. I need some wax paper. And I have all my juices and things here. 1½ cups, which includes the vermouth, the water, the clam juice, all of that. It should just barely cover. A little bit should stick up there. Then you cover this, but you don't want a heavy cover because if it gets too hot, it can boil and tear up your fish. So push it down there and into your 500 degree oven. The reason it's 500 degrees is so that it will start heating up the liquid. You want it to get to a simmer, not a boil. So put it in. As soon as you put it in, turn your oven from 500 to 350. Set your oven for 30 minutes. Now, you can also set a second timer and a third timer 10 minutes apart. You want to check it, see if it's boiling or anything over the simmer, because if it is, you want to open that door for a second. You want to turn that oven down. It should just shimmer. I forgot to mention the broccoli and the ingredients, so be sure that you get a nice steamer bag of broccoli florets, and when you're getting close to the end of your poaching, toss this in the microwave, usually about 6 or 7 minutes, then you're ready. Here is my fish out of the oven, and it only took 25 minutes for me. One thing that you need to know about fish is if it stinks, you've got bad fish. A lot of people, oh, I'm not cooking fish in my house. You're not going to stink up my house. That's how my parents always were. Well, according to Julia, it should smell fresh. When it's raw, it should just smell fresh. And same thing. I noticed when it's just about done, you smell just a little bit of, well, done fish. Now, here's what this looks like. And the thing that you need to know about testing for doneness is raw fish is squishy. Fish that's done is just slightly hesitant, or Julia will say slightly resilient. And that's it, because if you overcook it, you're going to make it dry, and if it flakes, it's overdone. And that's straight from Julia herself. We're going to take this poaching liquid, and in the true French tradition, we're going to make a delicious sauce out of this, and you'll just be like, mwah. First thing you need to do is very carefully take your fish, turn it upside down. Remember this skin that I talked about? Actually, it's easier with a fork, really. See? It starts just, there goes my ice maker again. It just slides off. I don't know how well you can see that, but anyway, you just keep going till it's done. You can do that. Next thing is, turn your stove on high. Get a small pan here. We are going to pour all this poaching liquid right in. Now, I don't want any of the onions or stuff to still be in there, so I'm just going to pour it through this little sieve or strainer. Looks like you've got maybe 2 cups of liquid here. You're going to boil that down to about 1 cup. Let's talk about that poaching time again. Set your timers, one for 30 minutes, one for 15 minutes, one for maybe 10 minutes. And you keep checking underneath your wax paper to see if it's bubbling or boiling. Once it starts bubbling, you want to turn it down even more. At about 15, maybe 18 minutes, I turned my oven down to 325. It was bubbling a little too much. It should just kind of shimmer. And then by 25 minutes, it was done. It was resilient. It had that little resist to the touch. And that's how you do it. This is called a velouté sauce. It's a basic white wine fish sauce. For about 2 cups, you'll need your fish poaching liquid reduced to 1 cup, 3 tablespoons of butter, a saucepan, 4 tablespoons of flour, and about 1 cup of milk. So, write that down. In my pan, I have my melted butter, that's 3 tablespoons of butter, and 4 tablespoons of flour, which is 1 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to mix that around with my wire whisk. Turn that down to medium-low, maybe a little lower. And just let the flour and butter cook for just a minute or two to get the floury taste out. That way your sauce will taste like sauce and not like raw flour. Okay. I tasted my 1 cup of reduced poaching liquid and it's yummo. Little bit over seasoned perhaps, but when we add our milk to it, it won't be a big deal. So, now, see how thick this is. We're going to slowly pour in the milk to thin it out, and we'll see how much we need. And you just pour it in until it's as thin as you like. Now, you do want it thick enough so that it will do what's called coat the spoon. Now, that more than coats the spoon. So we need to thin it out some more. Now, I'm going to try this again. It seems a great deal thinner. Let's see if it's going to... It'll cut the spoon. I think this is going to be just what we want. Now let's say it was a little too thin. So you can turn your heat up and let it kind of simmer or boil for 1 minute. You want to taste it. That's awfully good. However, sometimes with fish sauces, it's good to give just a few drops of lemon juice to it. It's just one of those little things that seems to help it out. And there you go. There's your fish velouté sauce. You could add mushrooms to this, that would be great. Or anything you want. I'm going to serve it as it is. Now, let's see. Ooh, that's good. If you like this recipe for poached salmon in a white wine sauce with broccoli florets, our first foray into cooking with wine, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends who like to cook or just want to learn how. Drop me a line in the comments below about your experiences with this recipe and what else you'd like to see in the kitchen. Click the bell in the top right hand corner for notifications. I'm Jim Hightower, and remember, everyone needs help, even me. Welcome to Help at Home, your resource for great recipes. Served with a side of broccoli florets. You can't get any more healthy than that. Help. I'm Jim Hightower. Today we're making poached salmon flopper. You'll need some pepper, some chopped shallots, or those green peppers. Thopper! Push it down there. Put it...
That makes it easier for me, or it's somewhere in the lyric if they mention food.
Lori Hightower, I'm gonna kick your